2018 Mercedes-Benz S-Class Review. The good points of Mercedes-Benz S-Class. Indulgent quantities of luxury. Ground with technology. Diesel's real-world efficiency. Crushing performance of AMGs. The bad points of Mercedes-Benz S-Class. Restricted range out there. Options are certainly expensive. Lacks rivals exclusivity. Ubiquity might count against it. Although various pretenders for the best luxury saloon crown attended and gone within the decades, it's the Mercedes-Benz S-Class saloon that continues to be the best in their segment. For the German mark, it's a showcase because of its technological brilliance, bristling effortlessly manner of driver aids, safety equipment, although not forgetting its role of pampering its occupants. That's a mantra that has been as true of the very first S-Class, since it is of the current model, that have yet more techno-wizardry heaped upon it during its midlife facelift in 2017. Watch, Mercedes-Benz S-Class vs Audi A8. Despite exactly what the sales figures suggest, the Mercedes doesn't get it all its own way. You can find excellent alternatives inside forms with the Audi A8, Bentley Flying Spur, BMW 7 Series, Jaguar XJ, Lexus LS and, for the upper reaches with the S-Class's price list, the Rolls-Royce Ghost. Naturally, should you fancy the luxury from the flagship Mercedes without making use of rear doors, then there's always the four-seater S-Class Coupe, joined for the very first time in this particular generation with the soft-top S-Class Cabriolet. Cutting-edge S-Class technology. Futuristic technology employed from the new Mercedes S-Class includes the option for magic body control suspension that constantly adjusts itself for comfortable ride, possible by using data from cameras scanning the trailer head, mapping out patches of rough tarmac and adjusting the dampers accordingly. Additionally, the curve function allows the S-Class to lean into bends during higher speed cornering, lending the Mercedes an agility that belies its size. While autonomous self-driving technology isn't quite here yet, the S-Class pushes the boundaries on their legal limit, self-steering for as much as 15 seconds during a period. Mercedes also used the 2017 S-Class facelift to further improve the adaptive cruise control system, which not just monitors the speeds with the vehicles before with multiple cameras and sensors, but links together with the sat-nav's GPS data that is expected speeds, slowing you down for sharper bends and junctions. Of course, parking a vehicle as large as an S-Class may be troublesome, despite sensors within the bumpers along with a 360-degree camera system. That's in which the remote parking function comes in handy, meaning you don't even need to be within the car as it's parked. Mild midlife refresh in 2017. No sheet metal changes were introduced together with 2017's facelift, with alterations limited by new graphics with the LED lights back and front, revised grills, still the original Mercedes type which has a three-pointed star mascot ahead, and different bumpers. Interior modifications are equally modest, maybe the biggest news being that this brand ditched its familiar steering column-mounted cruise control stalk in preference of touch-sensitive controls around the steering wheel. Some new straight-six and V8 engines made their debuts, though the refresh also signaled a thinning out in the S-Classes wanted to British buyers. Limited S-Class engine range in Britain. Standard Mercedes-Benz S-Classes, if this sort of luxurious car could ever be referred to as standard, certainly, can be found in S350D and S500 guises are both six-cylinder engines, with the diesel offered simply speaking wheelbase form. Mercedes expects around 90% of buyers to plump with the diesel. Performance F-focused Mercedes AMG models can be found in S63 V8, 4.0-litre, 612 horsepower and S65 V12, 6.0-litre, 630 horsepower guises, both requiring just 4.3 seconds to the 062 mph acceleration benchmark. Topping the product range, by having an even longer body to allow for rear-seat passengers all the more room to luxuriate, would be the Mercedes Maybach, accessible in S650 specification, featuring exactly the same V12 engine because S65 Although it disappeared on the time in the facelift, the plug-in hybrid S500e version is predicted to return by 2018, but all-wheel drive 4MATIC models will continue to become unavailable from the UK. Diesel S350d makes up bulk of sales. All S-Classes are rapid, even non-AMGs. Plug-in hybrids set to go back by 2018. Other countries get yourself a much wider choice of power plants compared to restricted variety of Mercedes-Benz S-Class saloon engines offered within the UK. But do not worry, perhaps the slowest model still cracks the 062 mph standard within 7 seconds. Popular Mercedes-Benz S-Class diesel lineup. 9 from 10 S-Class buyers in Britain are hoped for to go for your S350d. The only real diesel engine accessible in Britain, meaning we miss out for the even more powerful S400d. Not to stress, for the reason that 6-cylinder 2.9-litre unit produces 286 horsepower at 3,400 revolutions per minute and also a rich 600 Nm seam of torque from just 1,200 revolutions per minute. Mated with a brand new 9-speed automatic transmission, the S350d is relaxed and flexible, seemingly capable of surge forwards with every depression in the throttle regardless with the current road speed. Like every S-Class, the highest speed is electronically governed to 155 mph. As you move, the 062 mph time takes just 6.0 seconds with the shorter wheelbase model and 6.8 seconds for the longer one. Restricted Mercedes-Benz S-Class petrol range. It's an identical story in case you fancy a petrol engine S-Class, because the S500 is the best sole choice. Forget the numbering system here, as there's no 5.0-litre V8 in the bonnet like Mercs of old. Currently you get a turbocharged 6-cylinder 3.0-litre instead. It's particularly advanced by having an integrated starter generator, as opposed to a more conventional alternator. Recovered power is trapped in a lithium-ion battery power, allowing the 48-volt electrical system to use efficiently, running the aircon as you move the engine's deterred, and boosting the turbocharger to scale back lag. There's 435 horsepower on tap from 5,900 revolutions per minute, with peak torque of 520 Nm at 1,800 revolutions per minute. Power is sent to your rear wheels via the identical 9-speed automatic transmission, causing 062 mph period of 4.8 seconds. Performance F-focused Mercedes-AMG S-Class. Swing open the Mercedes-AMG S63's bonnet capture site with a new V8 4.0-litre turbocharged engine, replacing the earlier 5.5-litre motor. It sounds enticing as it's revved harder, creating a raucous 612 horsepower at 5,500 revolutions per minute, along with a mighty 900 Nm of torque from 2,750 revolutions per minute. There's an uprated version on the 9-speed automatic, fettled by AMG, providing 062 mph period of 4.3 seconds. Offering exactly the same performance benchmark, but by having an altogether different feel on the driving experience, may be the Mercedes-AMG S65. Lurking in the engine bay is often a turbocharged V12 engine that has a 6.0-litre capacity, proper limousine size. Yet in the large sports saloon, it'll produce 630 horsepower from 4,800 revolutions per minute, while peak torque is rated in a colossal 1,000 Nm from just 2,300. One gear ratio may possibly suffice, but inside the interests of ease of use and efficiency, there's a 7-speed automatic fitted. Flagship Mercedes Maybach performance. Powering the Maybach S650 would be the same V12 that AMG S65 buyers enjoy, producing exactly the same 630 horsepower and 1,000 Nm of power and torque, respectively. Ever so slightly blunting performance may be the Maybach's extra 110 kilograms of heft and 160 mm of length. meaning the otherwise mechanically identical limousine requires a supplementary 0.4 of a second to arrive at 62 miles per hour from your standstill at 4.7 seconds. Air suspension allows this class being comfy, but also benefits its handling prowess, too. AMG's proved limos are equipped for like sports saloons. Mercedes-Benz is keen to point out that this electric steering system with this generation of S-Class saloon actually offers a tangible advantage of customers, permitting them to fine-tune the helm for feel, or even feedback, and you'll instantly notice it's weightier as opposed to previous car. It's still within the light side in comparison with smaller, sportier cars obviously. Even so, the well-judged volume of assistance encourages someone to take advantage on the car's surprising agility these days before. While the S-Class's ride also feels fractionally firmer than before, the payoff is really as expected. It's much sharper to operate a vehicle. All versions consist of Airmatic adaptive suspension as standard, as well as in Sport and Sport Plus modes. The S-Class remains impressively flat, even without the optional curve system that leans the Mercedes into bends at speed. While its predecessor always felt such as a large limousine lumbering around bends, this generation's class feels much more convincing at speed on challenging stretches of broad. By far one of the most impressive system would be the Magic Body Control, which optimizes the automobile's reactions for your inputs. Around quick and tight bends, the S-Class will continue to be flat and composed almost irrespective of your input, with lots of grip across each axle. It also monitors the conditions on the road surface ahead to adapt the compliance from the suspension accordingly. Should the stipulations outside you have to be extreme, the crosswind assist function battles against strong gusts slapping the sides with the Mercedes, keeping it pointing inside correct direction with minimal effort through the driver. Despite doing this, the S-Class remains imperiously comfortable once we cover later inside the review. Mercedes-AMG S-Class, the sports limousine. Considering the sheer dimensions of these classes, it's almost spooky the best way well Mercedes-AMG has got it to serve a corner. It's beautifully balanced and body roll is kept completely under control. Magic Body Control means that with constantly adjusted suspension settings, the S-Class will take undulations or bumps note and ensure the automobile is watchy for whatever the street throws advertising online. The net effect with this is deeply impressive. No matter in case you're in softer comfort or even more taut Sport and Sport Plus modes, the S63 handles well, fooling you into thinking you're driving something far smaller. There's plenty of safety systems installed to keep you on the highway and pointing within the right direction, but in case you feel particularly brave, you are able to turn all these off. What you're then left with can be a seriously tail-happy machine which won't neglect to make you smile, in the event you like that sort of thing. Again, it belies its bulk more than anything on this size has any straightaway to. If the auto does set out to slide, it's progressive and simple to control. In this aspect it feels very sporty indeed, a genuine AMG machine, although using a level of finesse earlier, more brutal models lacked. Imperious quality of build and materials. Some finishes won't suit all tastes. Effortless car setting and straightforward to use. Those dual 12.3-inch dashboard screens inside the Mercedes-Benz S-Class serve a dual purpose. First and foremost, they display a huge array of data about how your vehicle's performing, what you're hearing and where you're going. But beyond that, they're a slightly showy reminder of how high-touch this generation of S-Class happens to be. Somehow some analog, physical dials, however classy these people were, just wouldn't feel right. The dashboard arrangement won't be alien to your majority of recent Mercedes-Benz drivers. In reality, the contemporary class's interior is comparable, otherwise as opulent. There's a selection of options on the subject of seats, dashboard coverings and decor details, but all in a materials used feel of particular premium quality. Whether you discover the finishes and color schemes classy or chintzy might be a matter of personal taste. You can personalize your S-Class's cabin a step forward with Mercedes Design service, although a real degree of modification may come at a significant price. Like on other Mercedes, All with the main functions are operated because of the command center controller for the center console, and it also doesn't take very long to work out how the method is navigated. There's little time required to get comfortable either, the electric adjustment to the seats and tire ensuring any driver can discover their perfect position. Anything to grumble about? We're nitpicking largely. Even so, the interior door handles are mounted rather low around the door, therefore we found our hands naturally reaching for your seat controls within the top in the door card instead. Perhaps higher was the dropping with the steering column mounted cruise control stalkers part from the 2017 facelift. A Mercedes mainstay for more than 4 decades, newer S-Classes have their own cruise controlled with the pads within the steering wheel instead. One from the most comfortable cars discounted. Magic Body Control takes it to a new level. Passengers feel truly corseted. Comfort, that's just what a luxury limousine such since the Mercedes-Benz S-Class saloon really should be all about, plus it doesn't disappoint. With the S-Class it plays outside in many ways, not least in their ride quality. Yes, this generation of S-Class feels fractionally firmer than its predecessor, but it's still certainly one with the smoothest riding cars you are able to buy. Should you seek perfection though, then have no fear, Mercedes gets the answer. Opt for the Magic Body Control system as well as the Mercedes becomes a lot more compliant and level, eerily so. Mercedes started the expansion process 8 years before this generation's S-Class's launch in 2013. Also, it's the vehicle's standout feature. Using cameras to watch the trailer head, it prepares every individual wheel and suspension assembly for each forthcoming surface imperfection. The result would be the body stays remarkably flat since the damper takes the worries, and also the S-Class effectively steps over anything to use way. Speed bumps that will normally call for a crawl to traverse disappear at speeds close to 25 miles per hour, as well as the system work its magic on less extreme changes within the tarmac at night UK legal limit. It's slightly otherworldly, by far one of the most exciting automotive developments we've ever experienced. All in the seats are comfy, but it's the rearmost pair from the long wheelbase and Maybach models that impress by far the most. With the executive seat option, the spine bench can recline by around 43.5 degrees, probably the most of any car and side sector, and combined with all the adjustable under-thigh support, super soft headrest cushions and front passenger seat that slides neatly forwards while revealing its heel support platform, it proves convenient than a modern top-notch airline seat. Like the top seats, the rears offer a choice of massage settings, including 2 new hot stone functions which might be incredibly relaxing. The seats are optionally cooled too, while there's the ability to heat the armrests as well because seats themselves. As part in the S-Class range rationalization in the point on the 2017 facelift, sail line specification disappeared, leaving exactly the sportier AMG line to the mainstream range. This is supplemented from the Mercedes-AMG fully blown sports models plus the uber-luxurious Mercedes Maybach S650 with the pinnacle with the range. Standard Mercedes-Benz S-Class saloon equipment. For an array with few model choices, the S-Class range is potentially confusing, with AMG line being the intra-level trim for Mercedes-Benz S-Classes. As standard, these versions have 19-inch AMG design alloy wheels, AMG body kit, keyless entry and starting, automatic parking function, adaptive automatic windscreen wipers, multi-beam automatic LED headlamps, metallic paint, electrically adjustable front seats with memory function, 3-spoke multifunction tire with touch control pads, 64-color ambient lighting, dual 12.3-inch screens, Command Online multimedia system, Android Auto and Apple CarPlay compatibility, wireless smartphone charging. Progressing for the sportier Mercedes AMG S63 adds 20-inch 10-spoke AMG alloy wheels, a more aggressive AMG body kit with AMG-specific grille, Napa leather upholstery with sports seats and sports controls, Burmester multi-channel system, illuminated AMG door sills, In addition towards the larger V12 engine, the Mercedes-AMG S65 also features 20-inch multi-spoke AMG alloys, chrome detailing to the AMG body kit, black Nappa leather headlining, Burmester high-end 3D multi-channel system, head-up display, executive equipment package. Flagship on the lineup may be the Mercedes-Maybach S650 by having an even longer wheelbase. Additional features over lesser S-classes include magic body control, which preempts imperfections from the road surface, magic sky control opacity settings for panoramic glass roof, privacy glass for your ear doors and back screen, 20-inch Maybach specific alloy wheels, heated and cooled electrically adjustable seats front and back with massage function, quilted leather finish to door panels and dashboard, Mercedes-Benz S-Class saloon, optional extras, as well as a huge array of individual options to further personalize the specification of the S-Class. Mercedes provides a variety of equipment bundles offering better value for funds. AMG line premium package adds a 360-degree camera, soft closing doors and boot lid, heated and cooled front seats, soft Nappa leather upholstery, electric opening panoramic roof. Choosing the AMG line Premium Plus package bolsters the aforementioned extras with cross-linked comfort systems for any more relaxed driving and passenger experience, a balance package with 4 fragrance generators, Burmester multi-channel audio with 13 speakers and 590 watts of output, active multi-contour front seats with dynamic and massage functions. Available separately or coupled with either with the premium packs would be the executive equipment line. On all AMG line and S63 models, it's standard within the S65 and unavailable for the Mercedes-Maybach version. Electrically adjustable outer rear seats with vac functions. Luxury rear head restraints with additional comfort cushion. Electric blinds for your rear screen and back door windows. Additional climate control settings for your rear. Exclusively available about the Mercedes-Maybach may be the first-class cabin package. This ultra-luxurious bundle brings a couple of silver-plated champagne flutes, extended center console involving the individual rear seats with fold-out tables, a fridge located behind the trunk center armrest, not crash-tested by your own cap. Still one with the safest cars available for sale. Some from the most advanced tech available, given which it made its market debut in 2013, and yes, it's still not been crash-tested because of the safety experts at EuroNCAP. It's unlikely the Mercedes-Benz S-Class will probably be subjected towards the program now. But, given Mercedes' track record of safety with both passive and active systems, it's unlikely how the S-Class would achieve anything less when compared to a resounding 5-star score. Not that drivers should take it being a challenge, but in the raft of preventative systems fully briefed, it might prove hard to have an accident in this class in the primary place. That's mainly as a result of what Mercedes terms intelligent drive, which builds upon and furthers the technology noticed in Pre-Safe and Distronic Plus from the last generation S-Class. The former has received its parameters extended, as well as the Pre-Safe brake can halt the vehicle from speeds of as much as 31 miles per hour whether it detects a pedestrian or stationary and slow-moving traffic right in front. Should you be sat stationary is likely to S-Class. Cameras monitor cars approaching from behind and rapidly flash the hazard lights as long as they detect a prospective collision so that you can alert the driver in the other car for a presence. If the motive force fails to react, the Mercedes will likely tighten seat belts and firmly apply the brakes in order to guard against secondary impact and then any occupant injury. Wide assortment of S-Class safety systems. Even the seat belts are intelligent, pulling occupants away in the direction of impact in order to lessen the effects in the accident. There are optional airbags within the rear belts too, inflating to assist lessen the load placed for the ribcage in a very collision, while cushions within the rear seat base ensure occupants making use on the car's leaf-flat seats can't slip underneath the belt while within the same situation. The car's intelligent drive strategy is exactly that. employing a series of sensors to create up the whole 360-degree vision. This Tronic Plus can follow vehicles before at low speed for autonomous driving and will even keep you from the correct lane. Should you stray above the line towards oncoming traffic, active lane keeping assist will brake individual wheels to drag you back across for the correct side. Also optional is Night View Assist Plus, which runs on the thermal imaging camera to alert the motive force to any stray pedestrians or animals in poorly lit conditions by using a high-definition screen relating to the main instruments, and definitely will flash the LED headlights on the car to seduce both their as well as the driver's attention. There's also Attention Assist to monitor driver drowsiness, and Brake Assist System Plus will provide the car to some stop should it detect a rear-end collision. How many ISOFIX points does the Mercedes-Benz S-Class saloon have? While it's unlikely anyone will specifically buy an S-Class for transporting young kids, filled with sticky fingers and seemingly relentless capacity to pull interior trim to bits, the outer rear seats do in reality house some ISOFIX mounting points for child seats. Vast cabin cossets for occupants brilliantly. Boot space is generous, ski hatch available. This isn't an automobile for DIY store runs, though. This generation's S-Class is continuing to grow slightly in all directions over its predecessor, meaning in practicality terms the Mercedes-Benz provides improvement over it ever has become. There's more headroom to the driver, and rear seat passengers can enjoy an addition of 14mm of knee-room and 9mm of shoulder room. That will not sound a whole lot. However, the S-Class cabin was Alwachi of formidable dimensions. Opt with a long wheelbase car and there's acres of room to fully stretch back there, while using option to increase space by moving the vacant front passenger seat forward. If being chauffeured around in more space, and price is a reduced amount of an issue, the Mercedes-Maybach S650 is just palatial inside the rear. Available as both 4- and 5-seat models, we suspect the previous may prove popular, even when the latter could be the more flexible layout. Still, in case you do opt for your 4-seater, you'll make use of airliner-style hidden tables, a couple heated or cooled cup holders and several covered storage. The middle rear seat is hampered using a relatively high transmission tunnel eating into foot space, but folding around the center armrest on these models also reveals a couple cup holders and lidded storage. Just behind it lies a ski hatch, Mercedes clearly not to mention what its target customers like to make use of their cars for. While the styling cleverly disguises its bulk, there's no escaping the S-Class's size when you're looking to negotiate it around a strict multi-story recreation area. It's particularly broad, but much more of a worry is its length, including the short wheelbase version has ended 5 meters long. If you intend to garage your S-Class through the night, ensure this process fits. If your financial budget is sufficient, permitting you to take into account the longest Mercedes-Maybach edition, know that its additional rear seat space extends it in order to 5,462 millimeters long. Regardless on the size from the car, a Ford or saloon isn't going to become the most practical of body styles, but usefully the S-Class is equipped with a large boot opening, allowing easy access towards the 510 liters of plush-lit trim space within. There's a nod to practicality through an optional ski flap behind the center rear seat position, although models fitted together with the available fridge unit employ a smaller boot as space is required to the heat exchange paraphernalia.